Hello everyone, myself Dr. Shiva Khan Pathak is available with you to see one more important topic, that is equilibrium of a rigid body. In this topic we will see what is the equilibrium of a rigid body and how it is obtained. So this is the equilibrium of a rigid body. So for rigid body we know it has a definite shape and a definite size. When force is applied on a rigid body, it's come in two type of motion. The first motion is called translational motion and the second type is called rotational motion. Right? Here in the translational motion we will see the equilibrium in a different way, whereas in a rotational motion the equilibrium we will see in another way. So we have a two type of explanation we will see for the equilibrium. Here actually we will watch mechanical equilibrium. Mechanical equilibrium of a rigid body. This mechanical equilibrium of a rigid body in two, translational equilibrium and a rotational equilibrium. So first of all we are going to see equilibrium in translational motion. This is also called first condition of equilibrium. So see what is the translational motion and its our first condition of equilibrium. So to see this, first of all one should know about what is the mean of translational motion. Remember, translational motion mean motion in straight line, right? So equilibrium in straight line motion. So a body is said to be in translational equilibrium or first condition of equilibrium if the body is either stationary means velocity is equal to 0, or body is moving with rigid body moving with uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means what? Moving in a direction, in one direction, moving in one direction. So body is said to be in the first condition of equilibrium, that is in equilibrium of translational motion, if it is either stationary or moving with uniform velocity in a direction, provided. What is a provided? See, force acting on the body is 0 or summation of all the forces acting on a body is 0. The vector sum of, if one force is acting, its force must be 0, right? Or more than one force is acting, then total force must be equal to 0, their sum. Here, if one force is acting in 0, this implies that summation of all the forces, we are talking in 3-dimensional, fxi is 0, summation of all fy is 0, summation of all fz. In all three conditions this force must be 0, then it can be said as in the translational equilibrium motion in one straight line. See very carefully. If this acting force is a 0, right? Then we are going to use Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? The mathematical formula: force is equal to mass in acceleration. Now see, if F is equal to 0, this implies that ma is equal to 0. M cannot be equal to 0. It means acceleration is 0. It means no acceleration is 0. Acceleration is 0. If body is stationary, say about a momentum. Two conditions: if u is equal to 0, it provides that momentum is also equal to 0, because we know that momentum is a product of mass into velocity. If v is equal to v, so body is moving with a uniform momentum. So either momentum is a 0 or moving with uniform momentum, body is said to be in first kind of equilibrium. If body is 0, then under this condition the momentum is called, this equilibrium is called, when momentum is 0, is called static equilibrium, right? If it is moving with uniform velocity, then it is called dynamic equilibrium. So under this condition, the equilibrium of a body is said to be dynamic equilibrium. See, under these conditions, see, since we know that force is minus du by dr, where u denotes potential energy of rigid body. See, it is called the potential energy of the rigid body. U is denoted here. See very carefully. For this first kind of this, the force is 0. This implies that minus du by dr is equal to 0. This implies that u is either 0 or u is constant. U is constant, it means this implies that mathematically it is not possible, so it implies that potential energy of rigid body remains constant. See very carefully. Static equilibrium. This static equilibrium is of three types, right? And this all three type of equilibrium we will see on the next page. So first kind of translational stable equilibrium is translational static equilibrium is stable equilibrium. See, what is this stable equilibrium? Suppose a book is kept on the table. See the page on which I am writing in front of you. It is kept in such a way that when we apply force on which rigid body, no change in position. This force is small, not much more. On a rigid body, no change in position noted. Then body is said to be in that condition. Body is in stable equilibrium, right? But here this case one thing, potential energy U is minimum. So potential energy under this condition stable equilibrium is a minimum. Apply small force on the rigid body, no change in its position, right? So it is example only. When it is, we can see one more example here in front of you. This pen, green pen kept here. We are applying little force, no change in its position. So this type of equilibrium is called stable equilibrium, and under this condition the potential energy is the minimum. Now we are going to see the second case of equilibrium, that is unstable equilibrium. See, what is the unstable equilibrium? We apply force. This force is also in a small amount. Where we apply? On a rigid body whose equilibrium is change in position, right? So change in position, suppose this pen is kept here in this position, here on the table. We have keep here, otherwise in this table we left. Changes the position. So this is called unstable equilibrium. Unstable equilibrium, potential energy U increases. It is not minimum under case. So one thing we keep in mind, potential energy must be minimum to keep a body in a state of equilibrium. The third type of static equilibrium is called neutral equilibrium. See, what is a neutral equilibrium? Let a ball is kept on a platform, and when we apply force on the ball, the position is changes, but no change in its shape. It's same. So it's move from one point to another. The ball moves from one point to another point, but no change in the observation. If it is possible, then it is called neutral equilibrium. Neutral equilibrium. Now we see the second type of equilibrium, that is equilibrium of rotational motion. This is also called second condition of equilibrium, right? So see very carefully the second condition to understand it. See here, rotational motion, a body, which type of body is? A rigid body, said to be in rotational equilibrium. Equilibrium means no change in position. Rigid body is said to be in rotational equilibrium if following two conditions: do not rotate, or does not rotate. Do not rotate, or if rotates with constant angular velocity omega. So there is a two condition for rotational equilibrium. A body is ready to rotate but do not rotate, said to be in equilibrium, or rotates with constant angular velocity. See, provided that under this both conditions is under a certain conditions. What is this certain condition? Provided that either torque acting on a zero or summation of all torques acting on the body is a zero. So the vector sum of all the torques is a zero, right? Under these conditions, and it's rotate. See very carefully. This program we are explaining by taking a suitable example here. Let a state bar. See this diagram and explanation very carefully. It will be clearly understand to you to understand the fundamentals. Let a straight bar is here whose fulcrum is given here through which it can rotate. Right? See here. This type of side length of the bar is given L1 and on another side it is given L2 length here in it. Right? The tendency of this on the left hand side to rotate in anti-clockwise, whereas tendency of the right hand side of the bar has to move in clockwise direction. So two type of moment of force. So we may write clockwise moment of force or torque. This is clockwise. See it is. Clockwise is this. What is this? Let the force acting on this side due to its length is F2 and here F1. So it is F2 L2. Clockwise has a negative sign. Now anti-clockwise moment of force or torque is equal to, see it is anti-clockwise moving. Its tendency to move in anti-clockwise. See the arrow. So moment of force is F1 L1. Anti-clockwise has a positive sign. So total moment is vector sum of both moments. This is F1 L1 plus F2. This is minus sign. F2 L2 is equal to 0. If both is 0, this implies that F1 L1 is equal to F2 L2. If it is follow this condition here in the diagram, F1 L1 and F2 L2 is equal, then body is said to be in a rotational equilibrium. Right? So here in this condition, all the torques, summation of torques 1 into n tau I is equal to 0. Clear? Here, in this condition, all torque acting is 0. Rest of the explanation is on the next page. Now, by the definition of the external torque acting on the body is given by formula external tau is equal to summation I is equal to 1 to n I is equal to d by dt of L, where L is called angular momentum of a body. Right? Since here total torque, external, internal is always 0, we are knowing and shown in the different lectures. So here in this condition this is 0. This implies that d by dt of L is equal to 0. This implies that L is equal to constant. So differentiation of constant is a 0. This is 0 since we know that tau is equal to I alpha also. This implies that I alpha is also 0, provided that moment of inertia cannot be 0. So this implies that alpha is equal to 0. It means what? 0 angular acceleration. What is mean of 0 angular acceleration? Body is either does not rotate or rotates with uniform angular velocity in the picture. Right? So this is for the second condition of equilibrium. Okay, we have discussed the both. Hope you enjoyed well. So thank you and have a nice day too.